Okay, so I'm Pooja Singh.
And I'm Danielle Charpentier. And we've started, along with Emma Montoya and Serena Dunbar, a Love146 club at our school. And we just want to talk a little bit about why we started the club and why this issue has
Broke our heart.
Yeah.
So I had gone to India a couple years ago and did a health camp with my mom, who's a doctor. And so we went to several little towns in India and helped several, not even just children, women and old people, and several people, and gave them medicines, and just my mom treated them for free to help them because they're so poor they can't afford anything. And there was one town that we went to where there was only girls who were like victims of sexual exploitation, and I think after that and seeing their reactions to seeing completely different new strangers, even though we were supposed to help them, they were so terrified of us that they wouldn't even, some of them were just so scared they wouldn't even want my mom to come and help them because of the side effects that were happening to them, because the drugs that people use to sexually exploit them. And so I think after that is what kind of really broke my heart, and especially when Danielle had kind of the same experience, then we all kind of came together and wanted to make this club.
Yeah, I mean, I had a similar experience. My grandparents live in Pune, India, and we went to visit them, and we went to this one shelter that housed girls ranging from like ages 6 all the way to women in like their 80s, who were all abandoned on the streets and raped and just like left there. But in a way that was different from Pooja. Pooja said like the people that she met were kind of frightened to come up to them.
Mm-hmm.
For us, we went inside, and it was actually, I started crying like crazy because all these little girls would run up to us and they were singing and they were dancing. They just seemed so lively, and I think that's what broke my heart, because it was so, like, they had so much hope, and it was really nice to see. And that's what has prompted us to kind of, take action, because we realize that if they can have hope, then we can too.
Yeah, so we've done a lot so far. There was a walkathon that we all took part in, and one of our friends raised, I think, like 8,000. How much money? 8,000? No, 800. 800 probably, something like that. A lot of money, and then also right now, since it's Valentine's Day, we're selling as a group and as a club sweethearts to everybody to raise more money for these little girls.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Christina.
Hey, I'm Allie.
Hi, I'm Meredith, and we're in the Love146 club.
The thing that drew me to the Love146 club was the video they showed at Assembly showing the children being forced with labor and sexual exploitation. And that really broke my heart, and I felt like I should make a difference in the world, and that's why I joined the club.
I have the same reason as well for joining the 146 Club. I believe that when they showed that video of that little girl, the number 146, it kind of broke my heart how she still had a fight in her eyes.
What really broke my heart was also the Love146 girl, because it was such a struggle that you can see.
It's an issue that doesn't really get a lot of attention from the media.
I really didn't even know about this problem until Love146 came to our school.
Yeah, it's really sad that people, like, we're so blessed what we have here in the United States, and we don't really realize what's going on in the other countries of the world. And
yeah, even people that do know about the topic sometimes kind of downplay it just because it either makes them uncomfortable or they're just not okay with talking openly about the subject. So
they don't want to have to think about it, because if they don't think about it, then they can pretend like it doesn't happen. It breaks my heart because what these young girls have to go through every day, it's just like, it's unimaginable.
I'm Tola, and I joined Love146 because I felt like we're in a really privileged country, and girls our age that have to be forced to do what those girls are doing. I feel like it's partly our duty to help them in a way, so that's why I joined this club.
Well, this is my first time in the club Love146. I chose to come today because I really feel that this issue needs to be addressed more in our society. I did not know anything about it when I came to the upper school, and I think that it's really great that you guys created the CSI, because these are issues that are like things that little girls, 12-year-olds, 9-year-olds are not supposed to be exposed to, and it's just terrible, and it breaks my heart because it's like putting myself in their position. These girls are just they grow up so fast, like they're forced to become individuals at such a young age, and it's just not the way that little girls should live, and I really am glad that we have a CSI in this school that can help them, and I think that it's a great idea.
I'm Freddie Davis. I'm one of the only 2 boys in the club, and I joined this club really because over the summer I read a book on human trafficking, and it touched my heart very deeply. And so I decided, oh, since some girls on the campus decided to start a club about it, I should join and show my support for it. And it's been a great ride ever since, and it broke my heart very much.
I'm Emma Montoya.
And I'm Serena Dunbar. And we're the second half of the captains, presidents, I don't really know.
Co-founders.
Co-founders. Okay, that's a good word. Yeah, so we're the second half of that, and do you want to go first? Okay, so basically for Emma and I both actually, the issue was brought to our attention when we were in 8th grade, and we were writing was it personal narratives?
Yeah, we were writing opinion pieces.
Oh, opinion pieces.
Miss Miller came over, and she gave everyone this National Geographic magazine, and it had a whole spread on sexual exploitation, and I remember I'd never heard anything like that before. You know, we all think slavery is abolished, it's all done, but there are little girls and boys, like, even in our country, there are 200,000 kids enslaved alone, so.
Yeah, for me, this issue really hit home and has stuck with me, and it's something that is really hard to talk about. Like, when people ask me, oh, like I tell them I run like a community service club at my school, and they're like, oh, well, what's your issue and everything? And I'm like, oh, it's child sex trafficking. And they're like, oh, you know, and they don't really know how to react to it because it's not something that's publicized, so it's not like a big issue that's constantly in the media and that everyone really knows about. And so I think that raising awareness and informing people about the issue and raising money to help these children is something that's really good. And what breaks my heart about it is that I think about how they're our age, you know, they're 15, 16, you know, maybe 18 at the oldest, and they're put into these situations to do things that they're not comfortable doing, and I can't even imagine having to do that. And coming from, we go to a nice school, and, you know, we get an education, and we have all these opportunities waiting for us, and they don't have anything. They live day by day, and they don't really know if they're going to make it to tomorrow, because some of their pimps aren't the nicest people. So, at all.
I mean, it makes you so incredibly grateful for just, like, you know, having parents and friends and, like, a place to sleep at night. Besides, like, I mean, these girls and boys have nothing, like, not even dignity. And I think it's just so heartbreaking that people are uncomfortable with it, and people know that it happens, but they choose to ignore it because it's not something that they want to believe goes on. And there's, like, so much more that could be done if people learned about it and respected the cause instead of just saying, wow, that's really hard to talk about, I don't want to talk about it.
And I think that if I was in any of their situations, I would want someone my age making a difference and being so, you know, into the issue and wanting to change it.
Please join the fight against child sex slavery.